Sandra! Welcome to Asexualise, my asexual life. Thanks for joining me for another episode. And I'm Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, founder of asexualise.com, and founder of Asexualise Academy. Welcome to this channel. This is a place to be for education about asexuality. So if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the big subscribe button now and hit the bell icon to get notified of every time I post a new video. So today in the relationships talk, the asexuality relationships talk, I'm going to be discussing do and should you take risks. So people get scared, right? It's natural for us to be scared as human beings when we're trying something new. We're going into different territory, we're putting ourselves on the line, we're opening our hearts, and we're being very vulnerable. So should you take risks? Absolutely, you should take risks. What I mean by risks is I don't mean risking your safety, as in, I don't mean going out to some dark, on a dark night and meeting someone down a black alley and stuff like that. That's not what I mean. What I mean by taking risks is, should you approach people? So when I'm talking about risks, like, one of the things you can do is you can approach people and talk to people that you would never have spoken to before. Yes, that means talking to strangers. Now, when we're young and as a child, we're taught not to speak to strangers. It's very bad for you. You get told of all these stories about abduction and all that, like, not that that doesn't happen, because sometimes it does, right? And you have to be mindful and aware that there are some horrible people out there in the world, but you have to always realize too that there are some nice people in the world. And yes, you should take risks, because if you don't speak to any strangers, you can't make any new friends. You can't, understand other people, because you'll be like a recluse, and you need to get out your shell. So yes, you have to take risks. And in asexuality dating and relationships, you have to take risks. You have to approach people on dating sites, for example. If you're on asexual dating sites, you have to be proactive and approach people. That means you need to talk to strangers. If you've got the Ace app, right? So the Ace app is an app that you can download to your iPhone or Android, and you can speak to other asexuals. Not everyone on there is asexual, I have to warn you, but you can speak to other asexuals. But what do? You have to make contact. You have to they do the bake the cake thing, and you see different people's profiles. You see someone's profile you like, and you click through it, and you message someone if you've got stuff in common or you like the look of their profile. You have to take that risk. So yes, you must take risks, but try and take calculated risks, as in the sense that you are protecting your safety, as in your physical safety. I don't want you going out somewhere with someone you've never met before and you've never Skyped them or chatted to them before. That's not what I'm talking about. So today, all right, I went to a jobs fair. And at the jobs fair, I saw this guy when I came out of the jobs fair, like near the stairs, and I started talking to him. And I didn't know him. I actually saw him walking the street. I think I saw him going near there or something. And I just realised, and he was foreign and young. I like foreign young guys. And I'm like, oh, he seems quite nice, right? And he happened to be at the jobs fair. I didn't even wasn't aware that he was going to go to the jobs fair like I was. And so he was there, and so I approached him, and I don't even know this guy, right? I just said, oh, how did you get on today? That's what I said, because I'm bold, I'm brave, and I'm taking risks more, because asexuality, as you know, is 1% of the population, recorded 1%, there's probably more. And so we are likely to be in the midst of sexuals, right? And I don't want to be scared to be around sexuals all the time, right? Because in the past, I've dated sexual guys, and I've been quite scared, because of all the sexual energy and tension. And I can still get that from some guys now, but I want to get myself out there. I want an abundance mindset. Abundance is there's lots of people out there for you, lots of guys, lots of girls. The world's huge and magnificent, yeah? And there's a very few sexuals that can't live without sex, I'll be honest with you. But so this guy, I met him, I started talking, and guess what? At the moment, he is staying in a hotel which is literally in the same road where I live. I mean, how absurd is that? And he's been in Exeter for years, I think, doing a master's degree, but he finishes his master's degree this year, and he is graduating, so he's staying on for graduation. Then he leaves in December and goes back to his own country. And I am so gutted about that, because he's been messaging me ever since we met at the job centre, a jobs fair. So he went, after he said he'd messaged me, because he asked my phone number, after after he'd finished at the jobs fair, and he's been messaging me ever since, and he's looked me up online himself. He found, when I gave my number, I didn't realise it came up with my surname and my Skype, and then he's been looking all over for me, all the internet, and looking at my books, which is really nice. I've got someone so interested in me, but it's just sod's law and shameful, really, in a way that it's, you know, the asexual guys aren't more like this with me. You know, I do think it's pretty, I'm sorry, I love asexual guys, you know, I've got lots of them as friends, but it's just a shame that it seems that it's the sexual ones that take a really deep interest and want to talk to me loads and loads, because obviously they want the sex. And I really hope to goodness that I meet more guys that are asexual that are actually interested in a relationship possibly with me. And, you know, just as much as sexual guys pursue me, I'd like asexual guys to pursue me. You know, just because I'm asexual doesn't mean to say that I don't want to be pursued, and I don't want, you know, constant communication. You know, from sexuals, it's a lot easier to get that if they're nice sexual guys, you know. And I just think it's a shame that I can't get that from asexual guys, but I think it's probably because I haven't met the right asexual guy yet. And, you know, and that's just the way it is, you know. So, but I have asexual guy friends that I'm really pleased about, and I'm meeting up with a ton of them this weekend. So I'm really, really happy about that. But yes, you should take risks. And, you know, and if you need to speak to sexuals, you know, then speak to sexuals. Go and approach them. You know, the thing is, as asexuals, we're not likely to meet another asexual in our city easily, even though I know one in my city and one not far from it. And we're not, you know, we're not likely to meet that many of them, you know, so you're going to have to speak to sexuals, do you know what I mean? And if you want to sort of build friendships and things, but I said to this guy from the moment I spoke to him that I wanted to be friends with him. And then because he's found all the stuff I do online, I said, I guess you realise I'm asexual then. I've been explaining it to him. But yeah, it's hard for me because I'm probably going to get a bit attached to this guy because he lives near me. We seem to get on well already, and he's easy to talk to. He's quite good looking as well, and, you know, but he's going back to his country, which is sod's law. So yes, you should take risks, but also you should realise that you might get hurt. And that is the truth, you know, when you take risks, you do get hurt a lot of the time. When you take risks, you know, and you could argue that the pain is not worth it. But one day, you know, you might happen to speak to a guy who is asexual. That did actually happen to me. I was with my friend in another town, and I went to this karaoke thing with her, and there was an asexual guy there. Sadly, he didn't live near me. And secondly, he wasn't bothered about a relationship with anyone, really. He wasn't really into that. He's a completely different type of person to me. So, you know, yes, I found someone, and that, you know, that did happen in a very small town. So it's not like it cannot happen, but you have to take risks. You know, if I hadn't gone to my friend's karaoke, I would have known that there was an asexual in the room. Do you see what I mean? And so you have to take risks because you never know when that risk is going to pay off. But if you don't take it and try it, you're not really living your life. Do you see what I mean? To the fullest extent. So yes, take risks, and in the sense you need to speak to strangers sometimes, you need to speak to different people. But, you know, like if you're meeting, you know, if you've got someone online that you're talking to, then don't risk your life and meet them in a secluded place. That's not the type of risk I'm talking about, you know. If you're going to meet someone on your own, over Skype them first and meet up with them in a public place which is well lit, you know, and make your own way home. Do you see what I'm saying? Don't put your life at risk. But in terms of taking risks in life to make more friends and to, you know, to have like a dating relationship abundance mindset, it's good to put yourself out there. And that includes on dating sites as well, for asexual specifically, you know. And because if you don't put yourself out there and take this risk, nothing's going to happen. In order to change your life, either you have to make a change internally or something externally has to change in your life. And personally, I would rather be in control of my change in my life and internally change than someone externally changing and coming into it and causing havoc with it. Do you see what I'm saying? So yes, you should take risks. You should, you know, of course you might get hurt. Of course, like I develop attachment quite quickly. So of course I can get hurt. And I also develop very strong emotional connection very quickly these days. And I've noticed, but I'm starting to feel that that's a gift. So sometimes you have to change your mindset around what you are or what you do, what's happening. So instead of kind of thinking, oh, I'm emotionally connected to this person, I usually associate emotional connection with love and romantic feelings, I guess. I'm trying to just see an emotional connection as something that I'm really good at, because I've got a lot of personal and professional development behind me, which means I'm easily able to connect with people because I'm a good communicator. So I'm looking at myself from a different way. I'm having to learn to change myself some way. I want to change. You know, I feel this is a time in my life where I need to change somewhat now. I need to change direction slightly. I need to change myself. I want to, because I'm pushing myself to be the outgoing person I always used to be. You know, I used to talk to guys before I used to talk to guys I didn't know before. I used to say, I like this about you. I like that about you. I used to speak my mind. And, you know, over the last few months, I've wanted to get back to that. Yes, it's very bold. Yes, it's very brave. Yes, it's very risky. But I would rather be that person than a shy person who's at home just not living their life to the max, you know? I don't want to be that way anymore. And it means that I need to change myself, and that is hard. Change is really hard, but change is often for the better, because once we change and we develop and we grow ourselves, then we can see things we never saw before. And that's the beauty of taking some risks as well, that different people will come into your life, different experiences will come in. Hello, what did I miss? Oh, Michael, yeah, you missed quite a lot. So I was talking, I've started relationship talks recently about, you know, and basically I was explaining that you should take risks. And I don't mean risks with your life where you're meeting a stranger down a dark alley. That's not what I mean. I mean taking risks, like if you're on asexual dating sites, for example, then you should be like approaching people, you know, like taking a risk to approach a stranger. And I approached a stranger today, right? I went to a jobs fair, and there was this guy that I kind of saw nearby or on my way, and I just thought, oh, he's quite nice. And he happened to be at the jobs fair when I came out of the room, and I walked up to him. Didn't know him, but I thought he looked quite good looking, actually, because he's foreign. I thought he's not going to be asexual, but he looks foreign. He looks really nice to talk to. So I approached him and said, hi, how did you get on? You know, complete out of the blue. And this is what I'm on about, taking risks. That yes, you should approach strangers like that. Speak to people. Get yourself out there. Put yourself out there, even though it's really, really scary. And so I found out this guy lives in my road at the moment. He's staying in a hotel that's literally in my road. So his situation, he's finished his master's degree in my city, and he wants to stay for graduation. So he's staying on in the UK until the end of the year in December. Now, as he lives just down the road from me at the moment, this is just like incredible. And I said that I would like to get to know him better, and I'd like to be his friend and meet, because he asked me for my number, because obviously most heterosexual guys, they do ask for phone numbers if they're interested in a girl quite quickly. He asked me if I lived with someone, who I live with, and I said, no, I'm single, but I'm just looking for friends. I talk to people when I walk my dog. This is really good, Michael. This is great. Yes, this is the type of risks I'm on about. Good for you. This is great. This is brilliant. This is what you should be doing. You know, even some people, a lot of asexuals are introverts, but they have to get out their shell. You know, I have to push myself to do things. You know, doing that today with that guy, you know, I had the choice. I could have walked, you know, I was literally near the stairs. He was like there, and I was near the stairs, and I could have turned like that and never spoke to this guy. And I was at that moment thinking, do I speak to this guy, or do I just let him go by in my life? Speak to him, don't speak to him. Yes, no, all right, just do it. You know, and that's my dialogue with myself. And I saw him before, and I don't know if I saw him walking up to the same place as me, or I saw him in the city. It's really weird. And I just thought, oh, he seems quite nice. And obviously he's a bit like the look I like, not typically, but he's coloured, very coloured, foreign, looked like he's in his 20s, looked nice and approachable. So anyway, yeah, but when we started talking, he asked me for my number quite early on, and then he said, I'll message you after the jobs fair's finished, because he hadn't actually been around the jobs fair, which is even stranger. I was coming out as he was going in, and I didn't realise that, because like I said, I saw him earlier, so I'm not quite sure if I saw him in the city before, or, you know, down somewhere else. It was just crazy. And so anyway, I kind of think if you see someone twice, I kind of think, well, maybe you're meant to talk to that person intuitively. So I did. And yeah, and so since the jobs fair's he finished at the job, so he's been texting me ever since. And when he had my number, he looked me up. He goes, "I've just realised I've just done some research and found out that you're a writer. Is that true?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, this is amazing." And I'm like, "How did you look me up? Because I didn't give you my surname." And he's like, "Oh, I found you online because your number gives me your surname through Skype." So he's got my Skype ID details and my number. I mean, I do a lot of social media because I told him, I said, because he said, "Oh, you've got WhatsApp." And I'm like, "No, but I am I'm glad I don't do WhatsApp because I'm on Facebook. I do blogging, YouTubing, Twitter. So, I don't need anything else." And so then he looked me up. But I like the fact that he took the initiative. He looked me up. He's really interested in me as a person. He likes my intelligence. He's already said, "You're very intelligent." And I said, "Yeah." And so all that was really nice. And I said, by now, I guess you've realised then that I'm asexual. I'm asexual, not heterosexual. And he's like, "Well, what does that mean?" And so I was explaining it to him. I mean, he's been texting me ever since. I've probably got text from him now. Yeah, I have got text, which I haven't replied to yet. So we were in the middle of a conversation. So yeah, he's asking me more questions about myself. So, which is really, really nice. He's been like, he told me, because I said I can meet him next week for food and stuff, but I've got the asexual meet up. Like, I'm meeting my friends for 4 days from tomorrow. I cannot wait. I am so excited about the asexual meetup. So tomorrow I meet 2 asexual friends, one from Worcester, one from Hertfordshire. So I meet my friend from Worcester just after lunch off the train. Then I'm meeting then the guy from Hertfordshire's joined us, and he's like my BFF. So we're spending the day together. Then on Saturday it's the meetup day, where we've got more people joining us. So I'm meeting Levi, who's watches his channel. He's amazing. And I'm also meeting up, hopefully, with one or two other people for lunch. They haven't decided yet, so whether they're coming or not, because they have issues going on in their own life. So it's up to them. But the 4 of us are doing gaming later on, via virtual reality gaming. Then on Sunday, we're meeting up again, me, the guy from Worcester, and my friend from Hertfordshire as well. And there might be some other people that may want. I think there's one other person that might want to come to that as well. So we're going to be there then. And then my friend from Hertfordshire was spending the rest of the day together, because my friend from Worcester's going back like 3 something. And then my friend from Hertfordshire is staying over till Monday. So I get like 4 days with him, well, 3.5 days, which will be incredible. And I'm so looking forward to that. I'm really super excited. And the thing with this guy I've just met is kind of sad in a way, because he's foreign. I seem to get on really well with him. He seems to be, taking a real interest in me. And, I took a risk. But the thing is, he's leaving as well and go back to his own country in December. And I know that I'm going to get a bit attached to him, because already I feel like, I really like you because you're easy to talk to. Do you know what I mean? I just instantly got on well with him. But I do get on well with a lot of people. But I have to learn the art of detachment. I really need to learn to detach myself more from people. But I find that really difficult, because I am an emotionally connective person. I can emotionally connect to people very easily. And I'm trying to see that as a gift now, rather than a sort of a curse, if you know what I mean. Because it can be a bit like a curse if you get emotionally involved with people quite a lot, because it can hurt, if you have to detach because you can't see them anymore and the situation changes. But I have to learn that, one of the coaches, the dating coaches I watch on YouTube, he talks a lot about spirituality and about soulmate stuff. And he's like, you have to realize that some soulmates, they stay in your life, and other soulmates, they go, and they're only there for a short amount of time. And I think that's quite sad in a way, but I also think it's a nice way of looking at it, but already, I'm going to meet this guy because I said for food and stuff, and I think he wants to go to the cinema with me as well, and we seem to get on really well already. But he wants to know more about asexuality and things like that. So it's really nice of him to ask all these questions. It really is good. And because I had a sexual guy interested in me a little while ago, as you know, and he lived in another country, I kind of think now, well, and he reckoned he could live without sex, which I don't think he could have done. I think it was just lying, to get in this country. But if I even entertain the idea of a sexual, I'd rather entertain one over here, if you know what I mean. The idea of one over here in the UK is actually in person. Do you know what I mean? Not some guy who's in a foreign country who can never come over here. Do you know what I mean? by even entertaining that idea, it sort of opens up the whole world of possibilities. Like, and you have to be thinking there are tons and tons of people in the whole of the UK as well, which is where I live, you know. So if there's a whole of load of people in the UK, that means there are tons of asexuals in the UK. I haven't met the right asexual guy yet. I haven't met a foreign asexual guy that's suitable for a relationship. I met a homo-romantic one last night. We became friends online. Foreign, lives in the UK. I've got on really well with him in messaging. We've got so much in common, but he's into guys, and I'm like, I'm really the wrong gender. Do you know what I mean? Because like most of the guys I come across, they're into guys. It's like kind of crazy. But you know, and I've got another foreign aromantic friend coming this weekend. So, you know what I mean? Again, he's aromantic, so he can't fulfill my romantic needs, so we can only be friends. And do you see what I'm saying? It's very difficult. Asexual relationships and asexuality relationships are very difficult. You know, it can be very complex and complicated. I am actually loving the asexual friends I've got, though. I'm feeling a lot of friendship love lately. I have to say, friendship love is one of the best forms of love you can ever get. It is amazing because you kind of always feel loved. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if you don't see your friends all the time, you kind of are bonded with them and you kind of feel loved a lot, if you know what I mean. And I think that's just beautiful, you know. So even if you aren't into dating or relationships, you know, having those super special friends, because I never had that in the past. I had people that weren't good quality friends, you know. They were people that said they were my friend, but they weren't in practice, you know. They weren't good for me at all. So these people that are my friends now in my life, I really feel loved by them, you know, even though they're not going, I love you, well, the majority of them. There's one female friend, and we say we love each other to each other as friends, obviously. We're not lesbians. And that's beautiful. But, you know, me and my guy friends don't really say about loving each other, but I kind of feel loved by them, if you know what I mean. But by their actions, by the way they speak to me, by the way they take an interest in me, by the way they care about me, by the way they want me in their life, I feel love from them in that way. Do you see what I mean? And I just think that's so good. But if I hadn't taken those risks of speaking to those people in the first place, I wouldn't be in this position now. So if I hadn't taken a risk and actually started organising asexual meetups, because that was risky for me as a person, right? I'd never organised a meetup in my life. I'd never been that good in groups in the past. You know, that's a huge risk. I could have risked the fact that no one would turn up on the planet. Do you see what I mean? All your life is a risk, but it's best to make risks happen for you and take control of your life in that way. The last thing you want to do is have everything controlling you and all these external things coming down and falling on your head and saying, hey, here I am, bonk, 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 hit you on the head and you've got no control over them. It's much better to take control of your life, you know? The guy who's foreign that's aromantic, I met him at the UK Asexuality conference. I was really outspoken and said to him straight away, I think you're very beautiful, right? It's not what you say to someone, is it, usually, when you just meet someone? I mean, seriously, who says these things but me? But I can kind of get away with it, I guess, because I'm very confident in my personality. I've got my confidence back and I'm getting it more and more, which is great. I'm very confident, I'm very outspoken, and you know, and he didn't, you know, take offense to that, which is good. If he'd have taken offense, we'd have never become friends, but we're really good friends now. Yeah, he's aromantic, like I said, and I'm romantic, so that's no good relationship wise, but he, you know, but he knows I thought he was beautiful because I told him. But we were, you know, but I don't go on, I think you're beautiful, because there's no point, you know, he's not interested in relationship, but he knows that I thought that about him anyway in the first place. I can't just like not think that. But, you know, aesthetics are fine, aren't they? You know, I just don't go on about stuff like that. We just talk like best as friends and, you know, share secrets and stuff like that as friends. And I just think that's so good. And, you know, I'm feeling good because I'm thinking more my friends, more friends, even though I do get some romance for pretty much all my friends to a certain extent, because I'm a hyper romantic, so I kind of get some romantic notion with each of them in some way. It's really weird. Even British guys, I can get a little bit romantic notion with them, but it's kind of under control, and the friendship outweighs the romantic notion, if you know what I mean. So therefore the friendship is strongest, therefore I'm able to be friends with them without it causing me any issues or problems. So I think that's really good, because for a hyper romantic, usually I have to have 8 months. That's what it tends to be on average, 8 months before I can just get to feeling and thinking friendship for a guy, so that I've liked. So say I have some feelings, it usually takes me a while to get over those to be able to just feel friendship for them. I'm backwards in that way. But it's really good because the asexual friends I've got in my life at the moment, they're all under control, and any romantic notion is minimal. Do you know what I mean? Because the friendship is far more stronger, and it's healthy, and I love it, and I'm so glad these people are my friends. And all the time, like, I've got a friend who likes guys, and that helps me, because it's kind of like, well, he's not going to fancy you in a million years, Sandra, because he likes guys. But I mean, there is one friend that I've got that likes guys and girls, but he prefers guys. So you know what I'm saying? It's in my mind it's like, but he prefers guys. In my mind it's like, but that's guys not romantic. In my mind it's like, because they put the obstacles in the way for me, because they're genuine obstacles. I can't have a relationship with these people ever, because I'm not suitable for them and they're not suitable for me. And that really helps. Sometimes having obstacles is a good thing, not a bad thing, because if they're the right obstacles that are preventing you from having an accident, as in like, if you think of it, a car, and you're going along and you've got these obstacles in your way, then in life you want to go around the obstacles or through them, or you want to smash them up, don't you? But in terms of like obstacles to do with relationships, and there are in effect boundaries. So it's like having the conical cones when you're doing a driving test, and you have to weave in and out of the cones. You're not allowed to knock them over. I'm trying to use an analogy here to say what it is. So those cones are, for my own safety. Those obstacles and barriers, if you like, are for my own safety. So some barriers and obstacles in life you need to smash through, break down, and other barriers and obstacles are kind of more like boundaries, and to keep you safe. And they're healthy boundaries to keep you safe and protected. I've got this thing where I need to protect, keep my heart safe and my mind healthy. Do you know what I mean? And so that really helps. And you don't want to be taking risks that are just silly risks. Like, there's no point in, if you're like, say that I was into guy and he was into guys, I'm clearly not a guy, so there's no point in me pursuing. So this episode, when I say take risks, don't, when you take risks, you might approach someone like I approached the aromantic guy. I said he was beautiful, and he already told me straight away after we first messaged. You said it's nice to meet you at the conference, just to let you know I can't be a romantic partner to you because I'm not romantic, and that was good. World Explorer. Well, that's just thanks for writing that silly comment. Much appreciated. I have to laugh at these people that write silly comments like that. Oh, jeez. My dad wouldn't go anywhere near you, mate. Oh dear. I have to laugh at these people that just make ridiculous stuff up if you've got nothing better to do with your life. Jeez, never mind. It's like, I have to laugh at these people. It's like, have you got nothing better to do with your life than just write rubbish? Whatever. My dad wouldn't even go near you in a million years, mate. I tell you. He bends steel for a living. So, literally. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what I was saying. So you take risks that are calculated risks for you, that are really good to get you talking to more people, get you to talk to more people, interact with more people, get you to explore things in your life and make new friendships, make new relationships, and and improve and develop and grow yourself. Because if you stay in the same position that you've always been in, if you do keep doing the same thing, then you will always get the same results. There's a big thing in the personal professional development world that if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you will always get the same results. Because in order for something to change your life, change has to happen externally to you or internally. It's much better for it to happen internally. So take those risks, meet new people, get yourself out there. Think of an abundance mindset. There are thousands and thousands of people across the globe with all different needs. you know, different asexual needs, different sexual needs, different relationship needs, different friendship needs. So, you know, that's a huge amount of people, you know, billions and millions and thousands of people. I mean, there's thousands of asexuals around the globe, you know, as we know, thousands of us. So there's loads that we can become friends with, and there's loads of possibilities of being able to get the right person for us for a relationship should we want it. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live stream. I'm not sure how the live stream is going to be over the next few days, because I have got the asexual meetup, so I might not be able to do them for a few days. Because obviously I'm going to be very, very busy with the meetups. However, I'm not saying I won't do any, so I just want to leave it a little bit open just in case. But now I've been live streaming for over 2 months. This is my 3rd month non-stop live streaming. And I do have to admit that I like keeping that track record. There's something I love about being the only one in the world, I think, at the moment. There seems to be, I know that's a big statement, there's probably others. So you can go Google who does live streaming every day. You can probably find tons of people, but I think I'm the only asexual in the world at the moment who's doing an asexuality channel and literally live streaming every single day non-stop. I mean, I've done this since the 1st of July this year, all through July, all through August. And, you know, we're in September now, so I've kept my track record really good. So, you know, part of me wants to, like, keep that up and thinking, don't ever let an episode go by, you know, because I want to really be doing it every single day, because I like to be different. I like to be the first one to do something in my life, the only one to do something in the world. You know what I mean? I kind of love that feeling of being the only one in the world to do this, you know, the only unique person to do this. I mean, we're all unique in our own ways, but I really like to stand out in the global sense, not just in a tiny, minute, I'm here on the planet speck of dust sense. I like to do something different that's never been done before. That just makes me feel the good. It makes me feel like I'm alive and vibrant, and I've done something even more with my life than other people would have done. I've reached, you know, new heights. I've done something really good. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a really big, I guess it's an adrenaline rush for me that I do that, and it just makes me feel so alive, because I know I'm different. I know I'm born to stand out. I know that I don't like being the norm like everyone else does, and I like adding to people's lives. You know, I feel that I'm very connected to my audience, which is you guys. When I'm doing these live streams, I feel that I'm very connected to you. I feel like it's easier to talk to you than just doing a pre-recorded video. And I find that, you know, you can sort of, like, this channel is called Asexualise My Asexual Life, and I feel that you can learn a lot about asexuality and about relationships, dating, friendships through my own sort of personal experiences, and you can share your experiences with me. I mean, I know you guys write me some comments back sometimes in between live streams, and I love hearing from you. You know, I love to know what you think. Always writing comments, you know, it's great. Write good stuff in comments. You know, if I've got some people who are just writing rubbish on my channel like earlier, then, you know, you don't need to do that. It's fine. You can take your rubbish elsewhere. But you know, genuine comments are great. I love and welcome very, very much. And, you know, I've started to do this asexuality relationships talk, because I think it's really important. I think there's lots of asexuals that do want to form relationships of some sort, whether that be romantic or friendship wise. And I feel I can help asexuals a lot by giving my perspective. And I obviously love to hear your perspective as well. Anyway, I'm going to go now because I've got to crack on. I've got a lot of work to do today before I start meeting asexuals for our meetup. And so I'll see you on the next live stream, which I can't promise when it will be. So my meetup stuff is going on to at least Monday. So for the next 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So anyway, until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. It would really, really help me out, because it helps me get it up in the search engine rankings. So it helps me get asexuality better known across the globe, helps these videos get seen by a more global audience. Plus it helps me to keep this channel going, because I know that you're interested in what I have to say. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I post a new video. Thank you, Michael, for tuning in, and thank you to whoever else is tuning in today. It's lovely to see you, and I will see you soon. Bye.